obviously the weather hasn't been on our side. So, yeah, hopefully post 100 the weather does get a little bit better over here. So yeah, I think it's going to be a washout all over England, I think, today.
I think you're going to struggle to find a dry spot anywhere in England. I know the covers are on down at Worcester, for instance, where the Central Sparks are hosting a game today. So it looks as if it's going to be 2 points for everybody. But had you even just won one of those games and got 4 points, you'd have been up to 19. If you'd won 2 of them, you'd have been up to 23. And bang in contention with the South East Stars, who you play next. I mean, that game presumably becomes a must win now.
I think, yeah, the rest of the games have got to be all must-wins now. I think there's 4 games left. And I really think because our T20 campaign was successful because we had that nothing-to-lose mentality. We obviously lost the first 2 games, and the next rest of the comp was a must-win attitude, and I think that's what got us to finals day. So if we can embrace that mentality post-100 and go finish the RHF really strong and positively, then, who knows what will happen. But, yeah, like I said, 4 games lost to rain and 2 we've actually drawn, which is unheard of in 50-over cricket, but we've managed to do it somehow. So we just love sharing points at the minute.
Let's pause on that for a moment, because 2 tied games. It's rare to see a tied game in a season, but you've had 2. One against the Sparks that I reckon you'll feel you should have won. One against the Vipers, where you were in the crucial partnership at the back end there, played a magnificent innings. Your 50 almost went unnoticed on our commentary because obviously all the focus was on it was 3 for the win, 2 for the tie. If the ball had rolled over the rope because you'd given it a big clap down to long on, it would have you would have won that game. So the 50 almost became inconsequential. But what was going through your mind in that innings? Because yourself and I think it was Ellie Threlkeld you came together with were way back at that stage. I mean, we were saying, surely they can't do it, surely they can't do it. And you got a tie out of that game at another outground, Southport.
Yeah, it's, I just remember sitting on the sideline next to bat, and I thought this is going to be a big job, a big ask. It was a great wicket and a really fast outfield. I remember going out to bat to Ellie and saying, well, it's going to be hard work, but I think if me and you stay in, we've got a good chance. And we spoke after, and Ellie sort of joked and said, I didn't think we were going to get anywhere near where we did.
Because she got 60, didn't she?
Yeah, she batted really well and really sort of anchored her innings really well. For, I guess, me to have a little cameo at the end and try and just swing as hard as I could, really. Yeah, look, I think that shows again that we're still learning as a group, and obviously there's 3 new players in the side. So for 2 games to, I guess, be in a position where we didn't really deserve to win, to then drawing, I think is a really good sign of a bit of resilience, and frustrating definitely that we couldn't get it over the line. But that Sparks game, for example, we were in no position to win, and then eventually should have ended up winning the game. So I think that's as a group where we've got to be really clinical at the end, and that's definitely an area that we're working on as a group, just finishing games off.
Well, that was it. I mean, it was kind of, you shouldn't have been in the Sparks game, then you were in it and were probably favourites, and then by the last over that Mahika Gore had to bowl in that game, you were really, it should have been a win for Sparks, but she managed to defend, I think it was 9 in the end to get the tie on that occasion. So, I mean, in terms of cricket's all about entertainment this summer. That seems to be the mantra both from the men's and the women's team at international level. I mean, no one's entertained more than Thunder, I don't think. No,
that certainly seems to be the theme with our group. So yeah, no, that game at Southport hopefully was really entertaining. Definitely would have liked to get hit that 4 on the last ball. But to walk away, it did feel like somewhat of a kind of win. Obviously, Vipers are a really strong side. And I think it was, we put on quite a few runs in the last 10 overs, so hopefully it was quite entertaining. And with our last few games after the 100 as well, with everyone still in a bit of short format mode, we can play some more entertaining cricket and get a win as well.
Yeah, I mean, if people are just joining us, the reason we're chatting to Tara Norris is because unfortunately it looks unlikely like there'll be any play here between Thunder and the Blaze at Sedbergh School. Really disappointing. The covers are on at the moment, but we'll keep you updated on the Thunder Twitter page. We'll just keep chatting to Tara for a few moments longer if we may. Just to give the full details of that innings we were talking about against Sunrisers, you made 51 that day, 51 not out off 27 balls, hit 7 fours and 2 sixes. It was a 35-minute innings. I mean, you can't have had many more productive 35 minutes than that, I don't think. I distinctly remember, and this was the tie against Southern Vipers at Southport, you hitting one over what I think is the very commentary box we are sat in today, sheltering from the rain, the one with the tannoys on top where they do the announcements when the players come out. That was parked over by the tennis courts at Southport, and you nearly cleared it. It was a fantastic hit. Been coming for a few overs. You'd already hit that earlier 6, which had just gone over the boundary. But You must have known when you hit that ball that it was going a long way.
Yeah, no, it felt quite nice actually. I think when you're in that sort of situation, it's kind of a bit of a fight or flight mode, and we had to go pretty hard, and it was one of those let's die trying pretty much. And
as far as the ball concerned, it was certainly flight mode, I think.
Yeah, no, it felt good. It was nice, and it's nice to contribute as well. I've not really had much of a chance with the bat, and when I haven't. It's not come off the way I would have liked. So definitely would have liked the win. But yeah, to be able to contribute, I didn't take any wickets that game either. So as a bowler, it's always nice to chip in with a bat whenever I can. And I guess that's the role that I want to play for Thunder from an all-rounder point of view. So yeah, no, I had a great 35 minutes.
You're right. That's such a bowler thing to say. I've just flicked onto the Vipers innings, and you didn't take any wickets. There's always work-ons, as you like to take.
It's always about the wickets as a bowler. But no, I had a great time. It was a good game. It was a really good pitch. But we did well to actually restrict them to quite a low score and what I thought was a pretty good wicket.
Were you drawing on that innings that you played with Emily Windsor in the final of the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy? I remember distinctly that day where you brought it home again from a long way out, and we were speaking about that. We were speaking. We know Tara Norris can do this. She's played alongside Emily Windsor. She's won this trophy with her. I think you got 40 not out that day. Were you sort of drawing on the fact that you knew you could do it, and you'd done it in the biggest possible game in the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy to win a game before?
Yeah, I guess having those similar past experiences definitely helps in terms of confidence. This felt like a slightly bigger ask, if I'm being honest. I think the partnership me and Emily Windsor were going for was 73 or something like that. So it didn't feel like a massive ask, and we had loads of time. But in terms of mindset, I guess it was we've got to walk off the pitch with the stump, and we've got to finish the game off. And I think that's a similar partnership to me and Lady Threlkeld. Obviously, just to just go up the gears a little bit quicker.
It's more than 100 that day at Southport.
Yeah, no. So a similar mindset, and yeah, I guess it was the same task. We've got to walk off this pitch, and we've got to finish the job. And for me, that's very black and white. It clicked. I thought, right, well, I've got to chip in for the team here. The team need me, and I need to step up. And luckily, it paid off that day. But now that's 2 innings out of however many. So no, I'll take it definitely.
Let's just bring it back then. As I say, we've mentioned the table today. Apologies anyone who is tuning in. Unfortunately, it's very wet here at Sedbergh as I look away to my left-hand side. There's puddles on the covers. There's going to be another inspection at 12. My inkling as a commentator who's done a few of these games before is that could well be it, unfortunately. I think for today it's looking unlikely. I've seen the Blaze players who have been here. There's been a few kits already perhaps gone in cars, and I think it's just an indication that unfortunately there's nowhere for the water really to go. But keep an eye on Thunder Cricket's Twitter feed. That's where you'll find out whether this game is abandoned or whether there is any play. Obviously it'll be frustrating as well for the men's test match, which is looking as if it's going England's way if they can beat the weather. So we will see. But we're chatting to Tara Norris, and we'll just finish on, as I say, it's been a bit frustrating with the no results, but you clearly still feel in contention if you can get a win over the Stars and start well the third period of this competition, the third set of fixtures. The Stars at the moment, they are on 24 points, having just beaten the Blaze. They are in the final qualification spot to get to the eliminator. Is the feeling if you beat them, then the momentum could really be with you?
Yeah, certainly. We haven't got time to groove back in. We've got to hit the ground running straight away, back off the 100. So yeah, momentum's key in any sort of format, I think, and the group have got to quickly regather after the 100 and hit the ground running. I think, yeah, if we get our first win, and it just showed in our T20 campaign, very similar pattern. If we get that first win and the confidence is high and we're clicking well and we're gelling well as a group, yeah, we'll definitely be pushing for that last spot on finals day.
Well, our thanks to Tara Norris, because, as I say, I'm sure there's many games of cards and corridor cricket and all that kind of thing to enjoy, as there always is on a wet day like this. But for now, we're going to leave you. As I say, the news from Sedbergh School is not good. The covers are on. There are puddles on them at the moment. As I look out to the middle, we can barely see the hills covered in cloud away to our left-hand side. So it doesn't look as if we are going to see play here today at Sedbergh School. If we do, though, the place to find out will be the Thunder Cricket Twitter feed. They will tell you if and when we get started, and if we do, make sure you tune back to us on YouTube. If not, make sure you tune back into us in September when the Thunder next play their games. Of course, Lancashire will have their one-day cup campaign as well before that, so make sure you tune into Lancs TV for both of those, and we will hopefully see you soon.
Nice room.
How's that? How's that? Oh. Oh.
How's that? Oh, I just burped, sorry, don't you get that on there? Sorry, it's so bad that, isn't it? We warming up, I'm old. I just nearly fell over. Is there a little hill there? You are so silly. I'm so shy. Ragadoosh, baby. Time for a batting clinic now. Oh, I don't like that one. Might be a bit late, really, to reinvent my batting career. Really don't want her to move out, like really don't want her to move out. But yeah, I am kicking her out, yeah.
Shall I move in out?
No, thank you, Daisy. There are certain people in the world I could and couldn't live with. Pretty sure you only couldn't. Got the power play yips. Picked a lot of balls up from the back of the net today. God, I wish I was better. Oh, that was a good one. I'm ready, are you ready? Oh, have I got that there? That is unbelievable. God, sometimes I blow my own mind. What is that?
Oh, I trust you.
What is? Oh, they're having sex. Oh no, it's not. It's dead. Is it dead? Oh, it's a wasp. It's massive. Oh, it's just a wasp.
You?
Gonna get her out, LBW. Over the wicket. Slide it on. There it is, that's the one, yes! That was right on cue though.
It's incredible. You don't see any other regions doing something like this, so it's like I said, such a privileged position. And obviously there's so much excitement about women's cricket in India at the moment with the WPL going on. Obviously we've got Sophie Eccleston representing Thunder over there and Tara Norris as well, and they've both done brilliantly, so it'll be nice to catch up with them. But yeah, it feels like a really great time to be going to places like that and being a female cricketer, and hopefully we can make the most of it and get stuck into the conditions and I think just get some learning done, because that's what pre-season tours are about.
Training sessions that we had in Dubai, the Sevens ground, at the ICC Academy was absolutely fantastic. We obviously played 3 games there and played some really good cricket. So we're really happy with how the players have developed, really across a fairly long and intense winter.
Exciting for me personally, like being born here. It brings back a lot of memories. It's quite a special place for me, but especially for the girls, like having experienced these conditions or this type of culture. But everyone's really embraced it and absolutely been loving it out here. Not seen my family in a very long time. It's been 7 years, and for them to just come out and like watch me play and watch the girls play and just see what I do, it's really special.
Why are you going so fast and then you got down yet? Oh, we're going together.
Obviously it's quite famous for its spin tracks, and you know the facility we got was absolutely fantastic.
I mean, last year we were competitive in vast majority of games and we're unfortunate not to get over the line and get a few more wins. I'm hoping this year we can do that and really push on. Today is around our approach and our mindset. Our focus can only be on performance and making the best of today. Basil, the few things that you want to share about this ground, etc., isn't it?
For me, I remember coming here with England, and the reason why we come here and train is because they took 10 Dulgers from here. It's got some real legacy to it.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Looking forward to captaining, are we?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah. Well, I've never done it before. Something different. Girls? Yeah. See? I think good all. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's been so much learning, and I feel like we can hopefully take this on into our games here, but as well as the season.
Come to join us for drinks. Really special. Energy. Burning pro, mate. Yes, Libby.
I was a little bit slowed by. I think I've not played much cricket for a while, so I think it just comes down to that. But it did click that day. I think obviously it got quite a big score and I felt great, and I think it finally came together.
Terrific all-round performance. Even when things go slightly against us, we're not losing the fight. We're staying in it and showing a lot of character. The way we've gone about this business today is nothing short of outstanding in terms of batting, without a shadow of any doubt. But that's the way we need to play cricket, and that's really important. We keep moving on. Another game in 2 days' time. We're playing the women's state team.
One last thing, always celebrate 100.
Yeah.
Love it!
Synchronised swimmers.
It's been absolutely amazing. I think it's just good to get some cricket outdoors and put everything what we've done in the winter into practice, and it's been really good. It's been a really good tour and we've got a lot out of it as a team. We've got a few new players, a few fresh
faces over the winter. I think just playing outdoors has been great, so we know like how each other works, and yeah, it's definitely brought us all together as a team. Definitely a lot closer now.
The signing of the 3 players have made such an impact by way of maturity and cricket experience, which is rubbing off throughout the winter on the rest of the young players, and I think that's a really good thing, and I think bodes well for hopefully will be a really positive summer, but really strong foundations to be successful moving forward. Come on, Frosty. Come back. You're the best, mate.
Never had a hat trick there.
If you said 2 weeks ago that we'd have won 4 out of 5 games, we'd have probably taken it. But I think more importantly, like the way we've gone about our cricket these last 2 weeks is exactly what we've spoken about for the winter and also for the last few years. So I think from my point of view, it's been brilliant to see. It's been brilliant to see different people contributing as well.
In those moments, that's where we just need to be brave. We talk about being fearless. It's still hitting the ball hard.
As we say, it's a tour to start getting closer and closer to the season, so for me, we're on the right track. I've absolutely loved it, and thank you very much for having the season.
I've been involved in the game a long time. We're in the England women's cricket team in 2014. My job is to help the transition of that from amateur to professional, and we're doing the same thing here at Lancashire with the Thunder. But the support that Hilton's offered us has been absolutely fantastic, and it makes such a difference because to be travelling, it's not just a cricket development opportunity, which clearly we've taken that with both hands, but also it develops the players as people. Players have really bought into the training here, but also the culture and the people of Mumbai. It's been a fantastic experience. Look, I'm a big believer that anything's possible. I think it'll be a really positive season, and we're going to really look to push and just see if we can surprise a few teams and see where we can get.
She's like drinking it. There she is. Oh, Mum, the I think the girls are so excited to be here, and what an opportunity for the girls to come out and play some cricket outside, and after a long winter indoors it's brilliant to be outdoors in the sun.
I always love coming back to the Thunder and being around a great set of girls, and you can see the excitement from them that they're getting the opportunity to be outdoors. I think, you know, being at Emirates Old Trafford for a winter can be quite a slog sometimes, so I think getting the opportunity to get out here, you can tell there's a lot of excitement in the group, and I think they're all chomping at the bit to play a bit of cricket now, which The fitness that the girls have put in over the winter, it translates into being able to hold your skills longer or concentrate longer in the field. So it's good to see how the girls are developing. Obviously been away from the group for about 2 months now, and that skill level just seems to keep going up and up, which is obviously what you expect when you're professionalising more of the girls and they're getting more time on task. Like the lads, for a lot of them, they aspire to be professional cricketers from such a young age, like maybe when they first get into the age group system at Lancashire, whereas it's still relatively new for our girls and there's still a lot of unknown about what the pathway looks like, but what we do know is that there's professional contracts available now, and that's so exciting. Yeah, I think we're unbelievably lucky. Hilton have obviously put a lot of money into this and allowed us to have the same opportunities that the men get every year, which is, I think, a really proud feature of our club at Lancashire. I think the equality that they treat the girls with is fantastic. So yeah, I think we're all really grateful, but equally we know that there's a lot that we can learn out here, and we're trying to use the opportunity to get us all better at cricket.
Gonna get her out, LBW. Over the wicket, slide it on. Ah! There it is, that's the one!
Results aside, I think the way we went about our cricket today was exactly what we spoke about we wanted to do, and from my point of view that was really pleasing. And yeah, at half time we said that was a pretty good score on this pitch, so let's go out and defend it, and the bowlers bowled really well to back that up, so yeah, it was a good day.
Good morning.
Hello. It's hard not to be envious of the young girls and the opportunities that they're going to get now. Obviously I feel very lucky that I'm still part of it all, but this is how you do all your learning. Obviously you cover your basics through the winter and you work hard on your fitness, but when you're leading into the summer, these are the opportunities that get you really prepared for that first game that we're going to play in April. I think from my point of view, this is the exciting part of my career, in terms of you've done all your learning and all your training, and you're trying to now implement what you've learned and how best to use conditions or how to adjust the conditions, and hopefully from my point of view as well can maybe try and help some of the girls with a bit more experience and giving them any knowledge that I do have that they might not have. So yeah, it's just been a great couple of days so far, and we've obviously got India to look forward to as well.
We are batting. Do you need anything from me? Like drinks? What do you want to drink? Just water. Right in there. Perfect. Is this videoing? Alright.
Nice.
When me and Liv first went in, we had a little bit of rebuilding work to do, and we just looked to knock it round, and then she was whacking it everywhere and I was just getting one, and then she was hitting sixes, so it seemed to work quite well together. We were both quite relaxed actually, just trying to play to our strengths, and I was just saying to her there's no fielders in the crowd, so just hit it over them, and she kept doing that, so yeah, really enjoyed it. Just tried to stay calm as possible.
Content for the GoPro. That's the mother of cricket. Throw it a bit harder.
It's such a good group of people and really talented cricketers as well. I think the best thing about this team is that we all celebrate each other's success. So Ellie scoring 100 the other day, everyone just really got round her, and I've obviously been the one to have a good game today, and everyone's been really supportive, so I think that's massive for the team. It's just to celebrate each other's success, so I've loved it really.
Clarky! I just love that name. Mo, what a day, girl! When you're on, you're on. Yeah! I've put my hands back on, ladies.
I've not been to Dubai or India before, and I've always wanted to go to India to play cricket. Obviously as a spinner it should be quite a nice place to play hopefully, so yeah, got another week to go and hopefully we'll carry on the winning.
Thank you. You can get on the bus now.
Good cricket, great Jack. Smashed it. Good at cricket, great at Jack.
There you go, right, cross candy on.
Wow.
definitely. Oh, amazing. Yeah, no, I've been in that situation where the stuff you know works, but just not quite how to sink it in yet. So yeah.
This is a call for hungry dreamers and hard-working self-believers. Success is down to more than just luck and talent. It's striving to be the best, breaking the boundaries and never giving up. Are you ready to become your best self? Are you ready to unlock your greatness? So what are you waiting for? This is Education Evolved. This is UA 92.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sedbergh. Not good news, I'm afraid. Not a lot's really changed. The rain has just stopped, I would say, but only just. It's been basically speckly the whole time. It's like we're stuck in a giant cloud, and unfortunately, if you were here with us earlier, you will know that means there's going to be an inspection at 12 noon today, and I would imagine that the call will be made then that this game is not going ahead between Thunder and the Blaze and the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy. It'll be tremendously disappointing if that's what happens. There's still puddles, though, on the covers that are fully out, covering the run-ups, the whole of the square. The sight screen's damp. The little brick walls on the far side are damp. The trees are damp. The top of the mountains are damp. Basically, everything I can see is damp, unfortunately. And I think that's going to make it very, very difficult indeed for us to get any cricket. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a chat with Fee Morris, because she's been kind enough to come along to the commentary box. So, as I say, we had a little chat with Tara Norris earlier. You can find that on the Lancs TV stream. Do keep an eye on the Twitter feed just in case there is any news. But I think the news at 12 noon is likely to be that this game will be called off, but we will confirm that officially both on the stream and there if that is the case. But Fee Morris is here. As I say, we've had one of the summer signings in Tara Norris here already, and now we've got Fee Morris here. So I mean, just look, today is disappointing, but how have you found it since joining Thunder? I mean, I guess it was a big move because you were going relatively well at Storm. You were sort of having a good time there. You've obviously previously been with Vipers. I guess it was a big move to come up this end of the country, and I guess weather like today, it was probably the thing that was putting you off. I see Vipers and Stars have managed to play, get a bit of play on today, but you know, how have you found it? How have you found the move?
Yeah, they didn't tell me about the weather, so yeah, it was a big move, definitely. Like I'm from Bristol. I was raised there, and it's the best city in the world, apparently. But yeah, big move from Bristol to Manchester. But I've absolutely loved it. It's probably the best thing I've ever done for me and for my cricket.
Really? So you'd go as far as saying that? Because I mean, I love, as somebody who's lived most of my life up north, spent a bit of time in the south. Always loved visiting Bristol, but you've clearly really taken to Manchester then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it helps that I live with Alex Hartley, and she's got a
I'm
lovely place.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, she's got a lovely place down by the Quays, which has obviously been quite nice. But yeah, definitely, I think for my cricket and yeah, just me as a person, it's been a great move. I've kind of thought it was the right time to move anyway, but didn't really expect to love it as much as I did, or I have done. And yeah, to have the team that I play with, they're an incredible group of people, and to have the coaches that we play with as well has been kind of above and beyond what I expected. Wish we could stop sharing the points in the 50 over competition, but yeah, when we have played, we've just gone from strength to strength this season. So
yeah, it looks like shared points today. We were talking to Tara, 2 ties. I mean, you've probably gone 3 or 4 seasons without a tie, and 2 come along in 1 season.
Yeah, certainly. I don't think I've ever tied a game, and then we had 2 in
Really?
about 6 weeks. Yeah, both quite different games that we kind of pulled it out the bag. Well, Tara pulled it out the bag against Vipers, and then maybe we were a bit disappointed to tie against Sparks. But yeah, I think, you know, considering T20 is probably our best format, we had a bit of a disappointing start in the 50 over competition. So to have come back and, you know, win in the last game and have such a good game against Vipers has been, hopefully it's just the start of what's to come.
It really seemed to click in the T20s. You obviously got to the final of that. You've clearly come here to win stuff, haven't you? I mean, you are a winner. You won the county championship back with Hampshire. You also won the KSL in its inaugural year with the Vipers, and you have been to finals day in the 100, for instance, with Southern Brave. I mean, you've come here. You are a winner essentially. You've come here to win things.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it wasn't. You know, I actually lost my contract being at Western Storm. Had a bit of a disappointing time down there, and just really felt that I wasn't getting the best out of my cricket, and I wasn't playing as well as I thought I could have done. And so actually the decision really to come up here was just to try and be as good as I could be, and just try and improve. And I think having, you know, going from really not performing at Storm and having a bit of a tough time last summer and eventually losing my contract, I saw this winter and this summer I didn't want to put too much pressure on it, and just said, like, I just want to start enjoying my cricket again, getting some confidence back, and hopefully if I can put in a few performances that would be great. And it's been, you know, I've not smashed the world, but it's been above and beyond what I expected. And to get to, you know, we said at the start of the season we want to get to a finals day, and you know, after the first few games of the season it looked like we wouldn't. So I think to come back in the way that we did and perform so well in the T20s and then push Vipers that far in that semi-final, that's so exciting for us as a group.
We're talking to Fee Morris, of course, because unfortunately we don't have any cricket to bring you at the moment on Lancs TV. It's a very, very wet scene out in front of us at the commentary position, but it's a great chance to chat. So we've switched our Norris for a Morris, which is always good. So you say it was about getting back to closer to your best cricket. You clearly played with those victories we mentioned in the inaugural KSL, in the county championship back in those days. I mean, how close then do you feel you've got to your best cricket? Clearly you feel there's a little bit more left from what you were just saying there.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, I don't know if anyone's ever had the yips bowling before, but it's a very stressful time, and I've had the yips for the last couple of years bowling, and it really feels like I'm starting to get that back now, and you know, I've felt like the last couple of games where I've bowled has probably been the best I've bowled as a professional cricketer. I think where I need to really push my game forwards is, you know, going on and scoring those big scores, especially in 50 over cricket. I think I'm more naturally a T20 batter, and that's what I've really enjoyed. You know, you can go out there and play with real freedom in T20s, and that's what I tried to do this season. And been a bit disappointed with how I batted in the 50 overs, but we've still got a few more games to go. So I'm sure I'll just keep pushing myself forward and see where we can get to.
So what do you find the differences between the two then? Because you got 209 runs, 7 wickets in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. So in T20 cricket, that's a pretty decent return. As I say, you've had success. You've won the KSL with Vipers, which was the predecessor, if you like, to the Charlotte Edwards Cup. We've got the 100 now, of course, which is almost its own thing, if you like. It's a kind of an additional tournament in many ways. So what do you find the differences are then between batting in T20 cricket and 50 over cricket?
Yeah, I think they bring kind of two different skill sets. I think T20, you've got to go in there and be really positive early, and that can be really difficult sometimes, especially sometimes in the power play when they've got quite a close field in. But I was given the freedom to bat number 3 and just go out there and be really positive, and if it didn't come off, that's absolutely fine. And that's the way I love playing my cricket.
Is it harder to do that in 50 over then?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've struggled a little bit with what the right tempo is, because I still want to go out there and be positive, and that's what we talk about all the time, and that's how we bat best as a team, and that's definitely how I bat best. But it's getting that balance between being positive and not reckless, and I haven't quite got that yet. But
and I suppose it's staying, because clearly the success in T20 comes from being single-minded and just being like, right, I've got one way of batting here, and it's kind of trying to achieve that, I guess, in your 50 over format as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hit the nail on the head there. It's just you've got to do it for a longer period of time, and there's more mental pressure, I think, in a 50-over game. But yeah, I'm sure, you know, if it's a tempo thing and it's a bit of a mindset thing, that's something that I'm really working on, and hopefully I'll come good. A lot of it's a bit of a confidence thing sometimes, and I think you get a bit stuck, you know, if you're facing a spinner in T20 and you're thinking I might go over the top, you just do it. And in 50 over, if you're thinking I might do it, sometimes you don't, when actually you should. So I think it's just, you know, it sounds a bit cliche, but taking that positive option and really backing your skills. And actually, if you get caught mid-on because you're trying to go over the top, it's okay.
I'll just let everyone know, because it looks to me, and I'm sure the good people at Badger and Coombs who provide our pictures here and are always excellent, or probably have their cameras on it already, but it looks to me as if our 12 o'clock inspection may well have come forward. It's a strange situation in that this is about the first moment in the entire day where the rain has stopped, but there's still an enormous amount of mopping up and clearing up to do. So we will keep an eye on our umpires who are out there at the middle, and as I say, if we get a decision from them whilst we're chatting, we will let you know. But as I say, we're speaking to Fee Morris. Does it take a while then, when obviously 3 new players over the summer, yourself, Naomi Datani and Tara Norris, who we've heard from earlier in the stream, and also, I mean, Deandra Dotson was pretty new to the squad as well, came in for kind of it wasn't even the second half of last season, but it was around about the midpoint of the season that she came in as well. I mean, was the kind of because everyone was looking at the signings Thunder had made, and they'd gone, wow, okay, Norris, we know what she's done at Vipers, we know what Fee Morris can do, we know what Naomi Datani, who's just walking past our commentary position at the moment, can do. Thunder are going to kick on here, and it did take a few weeks for that to happen. I mean, how difficult is it to get signings like that to gel?
Yeah, I think we were actually really, really lucky that we had that 2-week trip to Dubai and Mumbai at the beginning of the season.
Of course, yeah.
Which I think helped really gel us, and I don't think this is a difficult environment to come into, because it is, like I've said before, it's an incredible group of people, and actually I felt at home really quickly here. But I think cricket-wise, yeah, it does just take a little bit of time, and figuring out where everyone sits in the batting order and where's the best place to bowl them, and just getting a bit of confidence, because it's always really nerve-wracking going and playing your first game for a new team.
And I guess you had really talented young players as well, you know, the likes of Seren Smale, Liberty Heap as well, and it's kind of working out what their roles are, as well as the new acquisitions like yourself.
Yeah, definitely, and I think Lib was always going to go and open the batting in T20s, because she was so good in the Under-19s World Cup, and that's where she's really strong, is she just goes out there and she can absolutely whack it straight, which is exactly what you need from an opening batter. But I think Seren didn't play the first kind of few games of the season, and I think she was really disappointed not to be. But coming in last couple of games and opening the batting for us, and I think she scored 94 maybe, or 96 against Sparks. And
94 against Sparks, yeah. Brilliant. I was there at that day, Nero.
Yeah.
Fantastic innings. I mean, for someone so young as well.
Yeah, and I think, I've seen Seren play quite a lot now, and I'm so impressed with the way that she goes about her game. And I think, yeah, like I said, she was really disappointed not to play, but to come in and do that in her first game back for us and opening the batting was so exciting, and it shows what she's capable of, and I have no doubts that she's going to go on and score plenty more for us.
And I mean, you've still got plenty more cricket left, clearly, but in some ways you almost, as a player kind of 29 now, you're sort of thinking, right, I want to pass on my knowledge, pass on my insights, so a player like Seren Smale kind of almost doesn't have to learn it on the job in the way players like yourself did when women's cricket was amateur, essentially, and now obviously it is, I always say, professionalising, because there's still a way to go. But I guess you kind of almost want to give a player like Smale or Heap the shortcut to being where you are at the minute as a 29-year-old who knows your way around the game.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something that I've loved about coming up here as well, and coming and playing at Thunder, is that I've been given a bit more responsibility in terms of kind of being a senior player in the team, and I've really enjoyed that opportunity. And you know, I spoke earlier about having the yips with my bowling, and Lib struggled a little bit with that, with her off spin in the last couple of years, and I think, well, I'd like to think she's kind of seen the way that I've come back from it, and knowing that you can come back from that. And she's bowled brilliantly for us in the last couple of games. What
got you through it then? Because I mean, you spoke very openly about kind of mental health and that kind of thing, but something actually that's performance related, like the yips. And I'm sure there will be people across all levels of cricket, perhaps even playing club cricket. I mean, I'm playing with somebody at the moment who I know is struggling with this exact problem. Like, what gets you through something like that? Because it's such a weird thing, isn't it? From anyone I've spoke to who's ever had it, it's kind of such a weird. It just happens, and you kind of don't know why. So I guess it's very difficult to then. Usually, if it's something technical, you can go away and go, right, okay, I know why this is happening, so I know what I need to work on. Whereas when it's almost like a block in the mind, it can be really difficult. So how did you get through it? Because I think a lot of cricketers at all levels will find that useful.
Yeah, so it's a really difficult one. I think sometimes.
Or was it even one of those things you don't know how you got through it?
Yeah, kind of. It's definitely one of those things that time is a great healer. And I think trying to figure out exactly what's causing it can actually make you overthink it more. And sometimes you just got to accept, look, I'm having a bit of a shocker at the moment, and actually time might heal this. But I think for me, I went from, I'd be bowling in a net or against no one, and I'd be absolutely fine. And I'd bowl fine, and I'd be like, perfect, this is great. And as soon as a batter had come in, the ball's hitting them in the head, the ball's bouncing 3 times, and I couldn't understand why. But having really, really small building blocks to get up to that, I think, is the key. So I'd bowl in a net with no one there, and that would be kind of me for a week. And then the next week I'd put a cone down there, so like a traffic cone, so one that's slightly bigger to act as a batter. And then the week after I'd have a massive cone that kind of looked like a batter in there. Then I'd pull the net back a little bit to make it a bit more open, and it's kind of increasing those steps really slowly. And I've worked a little bit with a sports psychiatrist who's kind of walked me through that as well. And
is this the same one that Ellie Threlkeld? I know she's worked with sports psychology. I mean, obviously she studies sports psychology as well. But was it the same person, or was it somebody different who had sort of similar skill set?
It's someone different, but he's been absolutely incredible for me and for my cricket. And yeah, I think he's so experienced, and he's worked with like Burnley Football Club, and they're not the best football club in the world, but no, they've done all right.
People at Burnley would argue with that. Scott Reed, who commentates on Lancs TV, very often would argue Burnley are one of the better football clubs as their commentator.
Well, they're on the up now, aren't they? Burnley?
They are back in the Premier League this season.
Exactly. But no, I think to have a really clear plan of where you go in, and if you have to take a couple of steps back one week because you're struggling a bit, then that's fine. You go back to bowling against no one, and then the week after you bowl in an open net, and then if you feel well enough, then you can bowl against a batter. And just taking it week by week, I think, is the key, and not being too harsh on yourself if it's not going right.
Yeah. So is it almost? I mean, I remember hearing Graham Swan talking about the first time he got in the England men's team and the second time, and he said the difference was he sort of went and had a chat. Now we're just we will come back to that in a moment, because I am just getting the signals, the sort of the cutthroat signals, the waves of the hands that this game has unfortunately been called off. There will be no Bulls Bowl between Thunder and the Blaze today here at Sedbergh School. It's just too wet, I'm afraid. That's why we've been chatting to Fee Morris. So we'll finish off this conversation, and that will be us for the day. Our thanks to Fee, and also to Tara Norris for coming in and talking Thunder. Let's actually, rather than go sort of any more in depth, and thank you so much for your sort of insight, because as I said, that a lot of cricketers will find what you're saying there about sort of how you got through that mental block with bowling and what gets known as the yips, how you got through that. I think a lot of people will have found that very useful. But let's just go back to Thunder's season. You'll start up against South East Stars next. They're obviously playing at the moment, actually. Stars and Vipers have managed to get on the pitch today, which could give them a little bit more of a march, but they've started the day in that third spot. I guess you've got to start really positive in that game. If you can beat them, there's a chance for Thunder in September to potentially get to a second final.
Yeah, definitely, and that's definitely what we're aiming for. It's still possible, and sharing the points today, so we haven't got no points today, which is better than nothing. Yeah, I think last time we played Stars was in T20 at Fortress Blackpool, where we haven't lost yet. And we
Good game that, I was there.
Game. Yeah, we put in a brilliant performance then, and I think that we're going to take massive confidence from that. And yeah, we've obviously got a little bit of a break now for the 100, which would be nice for everyone to have a bit of a refresh and play a bit of a shorter format, but ready to hit the ground running.
And remind everyone where you're playing for the 100?
The mighty Manchester Originals.
I thought you were. But I thought I'd let you say it just to be sure. But yeah, no, well, as I say, have a great time with the Manchester Originals. As I say, it's a completely different thing, isn't it, the 100 really? So that'll be throughout August. And then we'll be back in September. Of course, Lancs TV will continue with the men's one-day cricket during August as well. And then we will be back to see how the Thunder get on against the likes of South East Stars and whether they can make the eliminator and the final of the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy. So we'll be back with you in September. Thanks to Fee Morris and thanks to you at home for tuning in. Sorry we've not been able to bring you any cricket today. This match between the Thunder and the Blaze at Sedbergh School has unfortunately been abandoned without a ball being bowled.